you very much for coming along. You've been here for a couple of days now. You've drunk the Kool-Aid of how exciting voice is going to be. But how many of you here, like me, are thinking, why isn't it easier to sell voice strategies, sell voice applications to clients, to business, to brands? When everything we hear whilst we're here at this conference is suggesting to us that companies and brands should be dying to get in on this voice opportunity. It's the new technology. It's growing faster than anything else in the world today. And when we started the business that I run, Send Me a Sample, we thought it would be just this easy. I'd be able to walk into any brand in the world and say to them, let me show you how to invest in the fastest growing consumer technology in the world today. And that would be all I needed to say. They would be doing this, okay? They'd be saying, let me have it, okay? I really need to get on top of this voice thing. I need to know how voice is going to change my business. I need to know how consumers are going to be using voice to buy my products and my brands. But more and more so, when I went into meetings, I was getting this, okay? The World Federation of Advertisers have done this study, and it said that 14% of CMOs are thinking about voice strategies sometime in the future. If everything we're hearing at this conference this week is true, why aren't brands jumping on to voice in greater number with greater level of investment? And I think this is the problem. I don't know how many presentations I've heard this week that talk about our products, our services, being about being voice first. The problem with being voice first, it means that you're not being business first or you're not being consumer first. And what that means is that you're not answering the problems or the questions or meeting the needs of the strategies of the business and the brands we're trying to sell voice solutions to, okay? My business is Send Me a Sample. Voice is a voice-activated sampling business, okay, for the CPG industries. The world's first and only brand activation voice platform. We used to talk about it with the highlighted bit being the voice platform. We now talk about it in terms of brand activation. Why? Because brand activation is what businesses and brands like L'Oreal, like CocaCola, like Mondelez, those are the sorts of things that they're looking for. CPG's number one objective is penetration. Penetration in marketing terms means growth by reaching more people, by getting people to know about your products and to try your products. Sampling, traditional sampling like this, back where I come from in London, this is where Coca-Cola last summer handed out something like 2.5 million small cans of sugar-free Coke to people on the street. 90% of them were Spanish tourists who didn't really do anything else but have a nice, refreshing drink. But they know that it works. In the US last year, about $10 billion was spent on product sampling, whether that's at a train station, on the street here, whether that's in a supermarket, because brands know that if you can get people to try the product, you'll be giving them discovery, you're activating them with the product, you're helping convert that to purchase, and driving long-term loyalty. It's been proven over the last 30 or 40 years that sampling works. The problem with sampling, as it has been, is that it's really difficult to target. So this street scene here, how are they reaching? How is Coca-Cola reaching the right audience? They don't know. It's just anybody that they can give a drink to. Because of that, there's a huge amount of wastage, okay? The context is terrible. Where do Coke want people to buy and consume Coca-Cola? They want them to do it at home. But we're reaching people on the way home from work, on the street. And so with all of that, there's a huge amount of wastage going on. But that's okay, because there's hardly any measurement. You can't tell whether somebody who got the Coke on the street went on to buy it, because there's no data collection. So our voice business looked at how can voice strategy improve the performance and the measurement dynamic of sampling that CPG firms do today. What voice sampling does, what Send Me a Sample does, is it does a number of things. All of these things are the things that the brands are looking for their marketing activities to be better at. We help brands activate their advertising. Rather than have a stand on a street, why don't you get your TV advertising that you're paying for anyway on a Saturday night when people are at home to be able to activate that product sample opportunity. Rather than standing on a street corner where you can only reach the number of people that pass that street corner, why don't we find a way of doing product trial sampling on a nationwide basis? Why don't we do it in a way that when we send the product to somebody at home, within the box, within the sample, we can provide all sorts of information that helps make the brand engagement so much deeper and richer experience? And why don't we do that in a measurable way that we can prove and show a return on investment? Okay? So one of our biggest clients is CocaCola. We've done about 4 or 5 campaigns with them. And this is a short video that shows you the campaign that we did for them in the UK last fall and Christmas.
Can my honey come back? Sometime I'm on a red back jack. Sometime I get a hump in my back. Sometime I'm going over here. Sometime can my honey come back? Sometime I'm on a red back jack. Sometime I get a hump in my back. Sometime I'm going over here. Sometime can my honey come back? Sometime I'm on a red back jack. Sometime I get a hump in my back. Sometime I'm going over here. Sometime can my honey come back?
Alexa, send me a sample.
Sure, what sample would you like?
Diet Coke, please.
Okay, great. I'll get your Diet Coke Exotic Mango ready and sent to you at your preferred address.
Okay, so that was the campaign that we were doing with Coca-Cola in the UK at the end of last year. Packaging the whole voice strategy around how it meets the objectives for the brand, how it gives the consumer a better experience, how it provides Coca-Cola for the first time real data that they can use on who is asking for and drinking the trial products of the new flavors of Coke, giving the brand the opportunity to go back to those people and talk to them and ask them, what did they think of it? Have they gone on and bought it? Thinking about the objectives for the brand rather than necessarily putting the voice first element at the front of the proposition. Okay? So, what we were doing for Coke is we're saying we activate your advertising, we're giving you nationwide reach, we're delivering a whole heap of brand engagement. This isn't stuff that we asked for. You can't really see it from there, but this shot here is all of the social media that took place. People on Instagram saying, hey, I got my Coke. This is great. Thank you very much. Send me a sample. Thank you very much, Coca-Cola. And then we were turning that into purchase behavior. This was a really nice, tasty drink. Since I've tested it, my partner, mum, dad, 3 brothers, 4 sisters, and our 5 children have all tried it. We all think it's great, and we buy it regularly from our local Morrison's, which is the supermarket in the UK. But possibly the most important thing, and revolutionary for the sampling industry, is how we're able to measure the ROI. So this is the curve of redemptions that took place, and those redemptions we can match and attribute to the TV spots that Coca-Cola were putting out with the offer on. And then following that, we survey the people that asked for it. We're getting intention to buy rates. I haven't bought it yet, but I intend to, of 20%. We're getting claimed purchase rates, penetration rates of 40%. Opt-in rates. Yes, Coca-Cola, please have my details. Please talk to me about other things that you can serve me. 48%. And I told my friends and relatives about this. This is fantastic. 75%. Okay, so it seems to be working. We've been able to build, using voice, a business with Send Me a Sample. A business now, we have 210,000 registered customers that we talk to regularly and talk about other offers. The user experience of Send Me a Sample we think is pretty good. We get a 92% opt-in rate for us to be able to speak to the consumers. We get an average of about a 45% opt-in rate for us to pass those details on to the brands that are running campaigns on our platform. We've had over 4,000 customer reviews on Alexa alone. We've had similar numbers with Google Assistant, and we get about a 4.5-star rating across both platforms, suggesting that we've got something right in terms of the brand experience that we're offering. We've worked with all these, but we're running campaigns with all these brands since launching in September, and we're lucky enough to have a good team now in London, in Berlin, and here in New York. And we're live in the countries that are pink there. We're live in the US, Canada, Germany, UK, Ireland, and then the blue there, these are the markets that we're trying to get to, demonstrating that I think that there is an opportunity for businesses to use voice in a commercial, measurable way. That's it. I just wanted to leave you with this last film, which is the campaign that we just did in the States. So on the 21st of June, longest day of the year, this year, Dunkin' launched Shot in the Dark, which is this espresso shot drink. They originally were going to do sampling with a pop-up in New York. And we said to them, how many people are you going to reach with that pop-up? And wouldn't it be better to be able to offer everybody in the United States a free shot in the dark as well? And they said that was a good idea, and this is what we did.
Voice assistants are pretty awesome, especially when you tell them things like, send me a sample for a Dunkin' Shot in the Dark, and you get a free can of vanilla Shot in the Dark coffee from Dunkin'.
Alexa, send me a sample for a Dunkin' Shot in the Dark.
Okay, great. I'll get your Dunkin' Shot in the Dark ready and sent to you soon. Is that okay?
Yes, please.
Thank you very much.